Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we're here to help our PM Marketing Network Lead customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingils here. You're listening to us live on Building Fortunes Radio. It's www.buildingfortunesradio.com. Many of you are familiar with my voice. Some of you may not be because you might be first-time listeners. We host this radio show. I've been doing this for over 7 years, I think it's been. We have 6,500 separate episodes that we've been running. And one of the reasons why we did Building Fortunes Radio was because I wanted to have a platform to be able to highlight people doing the right things in home-based businesses. Today, we start a series of radio shows with a great friend of ours. His name is Stephen Gregg. Stephen is with a PH. I like to say that because my dad was also a PH. Gregg has 3 G's in it, G-R-E-G-G. So for those people that might be looking it up, and he is the proud owner of something called the Business Sales Accelerator Academy, BSAA for short. So we're going to put this up on buildingfortunesradio.com/BSAA. And Stephen and I have done some radio shows before. As a matter of fact, he was a guest host for a trade organization that we were working with, and I found that working with and talking to Stephen was just very comfortable and also very enlightening because he's a worker. I mean, this man is out there working. He's doing the stuff that he's teaching, and he's also teaching things the right way, like the stuff that actually works. So in my head, I wound up shaking my head up and down a lot, like in agreement, as opposed to some of these people that I listen to, I have to put on my mental brain straps. It's left to right. I'm like, oh, my gosh, my brain's getting loose. I feel like an NFL player, like I'm going to have a concussion pretty soon. So the cool thing is with Stephen Gregg, I can honestly, sincerely say he can give you some of the best training, sales direction, inspiration, period, flat out. Put it to this way, if we were playing tennis, I would want to be on his side of the net as opposed to the other side. This guy's good. So I really like Stephen Gregg. He's a hard worker. If you want something done, you can ask Stephen. He'll get it done. So we started to do this radio show. We're starting to do this radio show on a regular basis because you've got a new product. And on that new product, I wanted you to hear about it. And we'll kind of go back and forth. But one of the first things I wanted you to do is I wanted you to be able to hear his voice, and you can then see why I'm so enthusiastic about having him on the radio show and working with him and helping however we can on Building Fortunes Radio and everything else that we do, because I'm all in with trying to do whatever we possibly can to help as many people build home-based businesses the right way. So having said that, the right way. So Stephen Gregg, thanks for being here on your own radio show.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. It seems like it's been forever. It's been a while. That's right. But I'm glad you're here. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
It was really kind of interesting because you came back into my life as a result of a gentleman that we do a radio show for. And he said, hey, I'm going to be working with this gentleman named Stephen Gregg. And he says, what do you know about him? And I said, work with him. I mean, I highly recommend him, flat out. There's nothing else you need to know. I mean, work with Stephen Gregg. He's a really great guy. Anything that he's going to do is going to be great. Now, if he's starting a plumbing training course, I don't know if you know how to do any plumbing.
No.
I don't think
that is
so,
one thing I am not. I am not a handyman by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, if
I'm
it was
handy with
like
a pen.
There you go. If it was Stephen Gregg drywall, maybe not. I'd have to probably ask, But if it's Stephen Gregg and anything related to sales, sales management, MLM, network marketing, running a business, motivation, then you should work with him no matter what he's doing. And I said that sincerely, not knowing anything about what you're doing or what you're charging. So tell people a little bit about your background so I can justify and then rationalize my level of enthusiasm for Stephen Gregg.
Sure. Well, I've been in direct sales for a long time. Now it's about 33 years. Fresh out of high school, 18 years old. I actually kind of watched a video that inspired me years ago. And when I watched that video, I decided to, do something about it. I'll just tell you the name. It was called Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. And when I watched that video, you know how one of those days something inspires you inside that just says, I got to go do something? Well, that's kind of what happened. And I saw that video, and I decided to get into entrepreneurship. So I started selling cars, and then I got into my first network marketing business at that time, thinking it was going to be easy. Lost about $5,000 my first business that I was in, and then I went into other ones and just realized that I had a big problem that I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know how to build it, but I had this massive dream. I wanted to build these big community centers all around the world, and it was this big project called ICANN Centers. And I wrote up this whole 4-page document about what I was going to do to save the world. You know, we all come out of high school going to save the world. So that was me. I was that same guy. I was going to do something for our community and do something for the poor and for the kids and for the high school students. And it was this big, crazy idea, people thought it was crazy anyway because it was so big. And then I got into network marketing. My first company was a company called Fund America. I got in that one, and, they didn't do something right. I don't know what happened, but it fell apart, and I lost a lot of money. And then I got into a few other ones. One was like a hair salon company where I was selling hair care products to salons. And I went around and did that for 6 months. And after 6 months, the company never produced the product. I was pre-selling it. They never produced the product. So then I basically lost everything and had my car repoed. I had to defect and move out to Orange County and get away from everything. And then, I just kept knowing that network marketing was the way I was going to do it because I didn't have any money. I had no skill. I had no ability. I had no belief or confidence in myself. I had no family support, no friends, no education, no college degree, no nothing. All I had was a burning desire to achieve my dream that I saw this big ICANN program. And so then I moved out here, and I think that's where you and I kind of maybe even crossed paths because I got into a company back then called Nutrition for Life with a guy named Kevin Trudeau and Chris McGarahan. And they were a mentor. Kevin was a mentor from afar. Chris was my mentor because he was like my upline. And Chris took me on under his wing and started teaching me. I don't know why. Maybe he saw something in my eye. He saw something, a burning desire in me because I really wanted to be there. And I would stay around and hang around the leaders, even though I wasn't a leader. I wasn't making any money. But I wanted, to make it happen. And he must have saw that because he took me under his wing. He allowed me in the leadership group when I wasn't qualified to be there. And he taught me, what it takes to build a network marketing business from a 7- and 8-figure income earner. Because that's what these guys were. Kevin was like a 9-figure income earner. And these guys taught me from that perspective. And I learned. And then finally, I started to get some results after, being $70,000 debt 12 years later. So that's a little thumbnail sketch about me up to that point anyway.
That's right. And then that's where we probably crossed in the hallway because I was part of that organization as well with the Trudeau Marketing Group and all those types of things, and I knew Chris McGarahan as well. So that's probably where we got a little bit of our training, where we kind of crossed paths and we have a little bit of common ground. Let's talk about what you're doing now and some of the reasons why you're doing some of the things you're doing now, because you started this thing where you're using the abbreviations BSAA for the Business Sales Accelerator Academy, which, again, if you're listening to the radio show, it's going to be buildingfortunesradio.com/BSAA, so you'll be able to remember this as well as previous radio shows. But talk to us a little bit about this and why you're, this product, this academy, and some of the philosophy behind it.
Sure. Well, it's kind of ironic that I ended right there with Kevin because what sparked it was what Kevin did back then. Back then, he had created a program called Distributor Services. And I don't know if you remember, but he had the tapes, books, and functions where every month we would have the tape of the month come to our mailbox and we'd get that tape. And I remember that I used to eat tapes. I'd have tapes in my car. I'd have tapes. And Chris was the best at selling tapes. So I had like thousands of dollars worth of tapes in my car because I'm supposed to give those things away. And I had all these tapes. But the big thing I did is I didn't leave the house without listening to one. Everywhere I went, I had a Walkman. When I was at the gym, I had my Walkman and I was listening to it. And, things started finally falling into the 4 levels. And so ever since then, from that point, I got into a company called Aflac, a company with the duck, and I started doing Aflac. And I took the same system and I started duplicating that in Aflac. Now, Aflac's not a network marketing business. It's more of a direct sales company, but I had very, very good success, some crazy numbers and success there at Aflac. And then people started having me train around the country, and I wasn't a trainer. I just knew what I learned from Kevin and Chris, and and the guys. And I said, well, okay, fine, I'm going to teach you. And I started teaching it to them, and it started working. The business started working. People started having results, and then I started having crazy results. And then I became a manager there, and I started doing very, very well. But then I left that company in 2004 or so, and then I went to another company, it was a real estate investment school, and I started trying to put together that same training. And it started to come together. I did very, very well, made 7 figures myself, but I trained a lot of people how to become very successful. And I realized something. I realized that training is the foundation of any business. And I looked at that, and I looked at any business out there, any successful franchise or corporation or company, the training system they have in place, the duplicatable system is the business. When Taco Bell or Del Taco or In-N-Out Burger or McDonald's, when they sell a franchise, what they're selling is a training system and a sign and an opportunity to sell hamburgers. That's what they're really selling, is the system that they have in place. And for, up until that real estate company, I was trying to develop that system, but I always ran into snags. I always had people or companies or somebody stepping in my way before I could get the system built. So I went another 5 or 6 years trying to build it, and it fell apart 3 or 4 times. And then I started coaching. I stopped doing group coaching. I stopped doing, the training and network marketing and all that. I got into my own coaching business, and I started coaching people one at a time, and I see tremendous results. The people that learned what I taught, they had amazing results. I got multimillionaires that have learned this information and went out and built businesses in other stuff, not necessarily just network marketing. So I knew what I had worked, but I couldn't bottle it. You know what I mean? I couldn't put it in a package and sell it. It was onesie twosies. And then something happened about probably 6 months ago. But God was probably talking to me just direct and saying, it's time for you to step into your power. It's time for you to start doing something different. You want to make impact, because I run an online ministry as well. I teach the Word of God to pastors in India and Africa, and I do all that too. But, he said, it's time for you to give your knowledge away. It's time for you to start giving your information. You can't keep holding on to this. Freely you receive, so freely give. So I started looking at the network marketing industry and say, well, I want to impact that industry, because that industry has been so good for me, and I see so many people struggling, so many people not succeeding in network marketing. So I just asked the question. I said, how can I make an impact in network marketing? Because, there's big boys out there. There's big players in network marketing that sell seminars and that sell books and tapes and have workshops and trainings, and they sell them for $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. They got all these numbers, but then there's still a big problem in network marketing, Peter. 97% of the people still fail. And I said, why? Why do they fail? And I looked at the market and I said, you know why? Because these big people out there that do these great trainings, and they're awesome trainers, don't get me wrong, just some phenomenal trainers in network marketing. If you become a 7-figure income earner, you're an excellent trainer. But the challenge was these 97% of the people, the population in the space, don't have the 5,000 hours or 500 hours or 2,000 hours or $50 or whatever it costs to go and join these coaching programs and get mentored by these people that keep upselling them. So I said, well, how can I take care of those people, that 97% of the people that no one wants to talk to? Not the one that's that real sharp guy, that little old lady that's never been successful in a day in her life in network marketing, that lives in the middle of the woods somewhere with no skill set, no belief, no confidence in herself, but she needs to make an extra $500 a month. Who's taking care of her? She's in somebody's downline, but who's going over to her house showing her how to build the business? Who's coaching that woman how to become successful? Who's taking her by the hand like Chris and Kevin took me when I didn't deserve it and giving her a shot to be successful? And I looked in the industry and I couldn't find a single person. So I said, okay, well, if it is to be, it's up to me. I'm going to do it. And so what I did is I rebranded myself and became what's called the mentor for the masses. My intent is to help you. And that's anybody that's listening to this radio station is to help you. I'm in the you business, to help the person I'm speaking to right now. I don't care how much money you have, what your skill level is, what your belief level is. All I care about is one thing. Do you have a desire to succeed? I can help that person. And so what I did is I put together a training, because the lady that's in the network marketing business, she makes about $50,000 a month in a company. She came to me about a year ago and asked me if I would train her leadership team. And I said, yeah, no problem. So we did a training, and they paid thousands of dollars for this training. So it wasn't a free training. It was a paid training. And you can see her on the front of the web, and inside the academy, all the people that I trained are right there inside the academy. But what ended up happening is I did a Zoom webinar, and that Zoom webinar was it was about 4 days long, 6 hours each day. And what I did is I created a 92-page workbook that went along with it. And so I poured my heart out into these people. And I taught them everything I could because I wasn't holding back because they paid for it. It wasn't something free. And so that's how it all started, Peter. You know, I created this training for this leadership team, and, you know, they started getting great results. But from that point, you know, I still wasn't helping the 97% people because everybody couldn't afford the $1,000 or $3,000 for that training program. So then I got, you know, like a wild hair. I just said, you know what? Why don't I just give this knowledge away? Instead of me selling this coaching academy, why don't I give it away? And so what I did is I chopped it up into 27 different modules, and then I filled the holes with email marketing training. I filled it with social media training, with goal setting. I started adding some additional stuff to it, and I put it in a membership. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to charge them $1,000 for this membership. I'm going to give it to them for free. So anybody in the direct sales or network marketing space, anyone in outside sales, any small business owner, any college student that comes out that's looking for a skill set, they don't have to go spend $10,000 for a college degree or go spend $5,000 for a mentor to coach them. They got me. So I said, I'll be that mentor for the Master Salon. So now they can go join the academy, and they can literally join and get all the training for free, and any future training they get for free. All they do is buy a $20 workbook one time. What I did was, Peter, I eliminated the excuses from everyone. So now there's no excuse for anyone to not have success if they want it. They can go in there systematically, step by step, and learn exactly what it takes to make a business work in a direct sales capacity, whether it's network marketing, real estate, insurance, small business ownership, outside sales for a company. It doesn't matter. It's not product specific. It's how to generate a lead and convert that lead into a sale, usually within 24 hours, so that they can make money now. That's what's in the academy. And I spread it out to a few leaders in network marketing. And a couple of the top leaders went into the academy and they watched it themselves. They said, before I share it with anyone, I need to make sure this is the real deal. I said, no problem. Go ahead and do it. And so they bought the book. They went through it. And one of them, his name's John, he gave me a 30-minute testimonial and said, this is the best training I've ever seen. He said, I've been in training for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. He said, this is the best training I've ever seen. And in addition to that, I'm putting my entire downline in this training. So he had 15,000 people on his team. He started referring everybody. We put over 1,000 people in this program in less than a month and a half. And we're just getting started, Peter. So,
excellent.
You know, that's how it kind of came together.
Excellent. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to run a little commercial break. You're listening to Steve and Gregg. We're going to put a web page together. It's going to be, this is the first radio show, so it'll be on buildingfortunesradio.com/BSAA, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to Building Fortunes Radio. If you sell a product or service, then you should check out PM Marketing's NetworkLeads.com. Just visit www.networkleads.com. For over 18 years, PM Marketing has helped distributors build their home-based businesses through lead generation, website development, automated email delivery systems, and sales training. If you're looking for a way to increase your skills and increase the number of people that see your product or opportunity, NetworkLeads.com can help. To learn more, visit www.networkleads.com. Ask about their lead management system, capture pages, personalized websites, MLM training, humongous blogs, the humongous classified ad network, Building Fortunes Radio, or their webinar schedule. NetworkLeads.com can be your one-stop shop for everything you need. And now, back to our show.
This is Peter Mingils. You're listening to Steve and Gregg. He's talking about the Business Sales Accelerator Academy and the workbook that you'd buy for $20. Steven, I got to tell you about today's example. I was just a few hours ago, like literally maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, we're running an ad for a different part of my business that we're working on, and it was a virtual sales rep part. Anyway, I had a nice conversation with a gal who, during the part of the interviewing process, she says, I just left a good job making $23 an hour. And she said, we were in the part of the discussion, she says, I was handing out flyers on the street in Las Vegas to a seminar for one of these motivational speaker guys. And I'm not going to mention the motivational speaker guy, but she said, and she left that business. So she was being paid $23 an hour to pass out flyers to this motivational speaker seminar. And she said to me, you know, there's people that are paying like $11,000 to be there. And I'm like, yeah, probably flights and hotels and meals and everything else. And they'll probably have a line in the back of the room where they'll be stepping them up to spend $30,000 on the next seminar. And they'll probably have a waiting list and a finance guy in the back of the room as well. So in essence, what you're doing is you're charging less than 1 hour that this gal would have been paid to pass out flyers to come into an event for a seminar. And some people might say, well, you know, does the price have to justify the value? Well, it really depends on where your head's at. You've already paid the price, Stephen, for all the things that you've learned. You've already done the work. You've already done the countless hours of the video editing and everything else that I know you do. But your decision is, you know what, I want to give it away. I want to give it away and help more people. So I hope you sell 1 million of these things. And we're going to try to do whatever we possibly can to get as many people in there trained successfully, and I hope you don't mind that story. But sometimes the price that you pay may have nothing to do with the value that you get. Now, those motivational speaker guru guys that fly around on their planes and going to try to impress you with their lifestyle, let me share with you, I wouldn't hire that guy to do anything for my business because I know about his integrity, and the reality is there's none. There's none. There's nothing that man could ever teach any of my people, and I would never prop him up on a stage. But for you, Stephen, we will do everything we possibly can because you're the real deal. You have really great information, and I know because I see you apply it all the time. So I hope you don't mind the story and another one of those endorsements. But, you know, the idea that you're giving this workbook away with all the other stuff, I know it's in your heart, and I know what you're working on, and I see the value. You have that, you know, $50,000 seminar value that you're giving away for literally almost nothing relative to the cost that you're charging. So back to you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and that's what I saw. I saw that all these guys, you know, these guys fly around on jets and tell you how great their business is and what they can do for you. But I've also paid those $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000 worth of training. And yeah, there's some good knowledge in some of them, but most of the time, by the time I'm done, it's like, well, I could have taught that seminar, you know, and it's not like revolutionary new stuff because you paid $20,000 for it. No, it's regurgitated stuff. Most of the time, a lot of the time, and packaged. It's packaged and sold. That's what it is. And I just decided I didn't want to do that. You know, I wanted to be the mentor for the masses because this world is tough right now. There's a lot of people struggling all over the world, and what made me see it more is how many people I deal with over in Africa and India. I deal with people over there that don't have $10. $10 to them will feed an entire village. And guess what? A lot of the money from the academy, that's where it goes. Because guess what? They can now join my academy too because there's actually a free section in the academy. The audio is free because there's some people that flat out can't pay the $20. And you know what? They need a chance too. So I got now people in India, people in Africa, people in different parts of the world that are listening to this training and applying it to their agriculture businesses, applying it to their communities to go sell whatever they're selling because it's not product specific. I made it so everyone is on equal ground. Now, everyone has the education. So no matter what I learn and what I do, I'm going to put it in the academy and it's going to be free for all. Education, sales and marketing education shouldn't be only for the elite few that can pay for it. It should be available to everyone, and I'm making that available.
Excellent. Okay, so let's wrap it up by telling people how do they find it, because we almost forgot. So how do people find where they can go get it?
Yeah, well, two places. Number one, you can go to businesssalesaccelerator.com. That's business sales, ACCELERATOR.com. So businesssalesaccelerator.com. Or you can get the mobile app, and the mobile app you can download. You can text the number 64600 and then type the word mentor, MENTOR, and you can download the app right on your phone and get it. So that's how you can get the mobile app, or you can go right to the website.
Now, I'm sure there's some people that are probably grabbing a pen, so maybe you can repeat those two ways to get it one more time.
Sure. The first one is www.businesssalesaccelerator.com. That's ACCELERATOR.com. Or you can actually text the number 64600. Similar to texting a friend, you just put the number 64600 and then type the word mentor, MENTOR. And then there's one other way I want to give really quick. You can go to this website and download the app also, just in case you're out of the country. You can go to https://EZCard, the letter Z, CARD.com/mentor. So I'm sure you'll probably have that written down somewhere, right?
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, good. And we're going to make sure that that's going to be on Stephen's guest page as well. So in the event that you weren't able to do this or find it, just remember, go to buildingfortunesradio.com/BSAA. And then also, if you go to the guest hosts, you'll find Stephen Gregg, Stephen with a PH, Gregg with 3 Gs. And we're going to be back next week at this time. We're going to be doing this on Tuesday evenings, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, if you want to join us live. But if you miss us live because you're doing something else, it's totally okay. You can always pick it up on the buildingfortunesradio.com website. Go to buildingfortunesradio.com/BSAA. And Stephen, you got 1 minute. You can wrap it up.
Well, Peter, I just want to, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here and have another platform to, get this message out to the world. I know you've been doing some amazing things in this industry, and people like you are what make this industry strong and powerful, and people have the ability to succeed. So I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to have another spot on your show. And, I look forward to doing some big, big, big things with you.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to, that's why we do Building Fortunes Radio, help as many people as we possibly can worldwide in this wonderful industry, or anything else they might be doing to make the world a better place. We're going to catch everybody next time on Building Fortunes Radio. Good day, everyone. Thanks.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world.